Hello and welcome. Welcome to today's seated yoga and meditation. So I will be demonstrating stretches if you want to be seated on the mat, or we have a handy dandy chair here as well. Now just a couple of things to show you. If you're sitting in a chair, the best option would be to sit in a chair, like a dining chair, making sure that your feet are firmly on the ground. If you have a chair like office chair with wheels, make sure you can lock the wheels and ensuring that the angle for the knee is 90 degrees and angle for the hip compared to the our spine, let's say, is about 90 degrees as well. So 90 and 90. And if you're sitting in on the mat, not in a chair, I'm using a pillow so you can see, and you can sit cross-legged. You can sit for the beginning. You can sit on the heels. You're using the pillow or not, your choice. And of course, you can just extend the legs forward. All the options are yours. You might need a strap or a belt or just a towel long enough so you can have about 1 meter of length. And we will begin in a seated position, whichever you choose, seated in a chair or on the mat, on a pillow or maybe a couple of blocks, by straightening our spine, relaxing the facial muscles, having a nice deep inhale and exhale, just naturally for now without forcing anything, just finding our breath, relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the jaw. After a long day, we can bring our index finger and our thumb together for chin mudra. The rest of the palm is staying very soft, softening on straight fingers and placing palms up. Hopefully it will help us concentrate more on our breath and on our practice overall. Nice and deep inhale and exhale, letting the air travel, feeling the lung cavity, and then traveling further, lifting the diaphragm, filling our bellies all the way. And on the exhale, we feel how the belly is deflating. The lungs deflate. And one more inhale and exhale. And maybe notice how your breath is becoming more pronounced. You can feel it traveling through your body, and it lengthens just by itself. And on the next breath in, we will place the palms of our hands on our knees or on our thighs, and we will look up and exhale, look down, stretching the neck. Inhale up and exhale down. One more time, inhale up and exhale down. On the next inhale, we will return our gaze to center, gazing right in front of us. Inhale, and on the exhale, we turn to the right. Inhale, center, exhale, left. Inhale center, exhale right. Inhale center and exhale left. One more time. Inhale center, exhale right. Inhale center and exhale left. Inhale center, and from here we will start moving our shoulders in any direction, just creating circles with our shoulders, noticing if one shoulder feels maybe a little bit more stiff than the other, not pushing yourself over the limit to make them equal, but just noticing. Two more. And then we will circle in the opposite direction, releasing with movement and breath, releasing the tension. Let's do two more circles. And then release and relax. Maybe roll the shoulders back just to ensure that our spine is nice and straight. And then we can grab our belt, a tie, anything that can be used as a strap. And we will, on the inhale, we will bring our strap up. And exhale, we will either bring it back, down, or inhale up. And exhale, going behind, bending our elbows and going behind the back, behind the head, sorry. And then down, inhale up and back behind. Moving with your breath, choosing an option that works best. Noticing how one side is reacting with another. Not overstretching, but just going with your breath and going with the stretch that it feels comfortable for us today. One more time. And release. Beautiful work. We can put the strap away for now. And we will just start moving right hand up, all the way up, stretching toward the ceiling. We can stay with our left palm on the thigh or grab a side of the chair or the mat. And exhale, move into the side bend. Inhale up. Exhale, side bend. Inhale up. And exhale, side bend. Inhale up. And exhale, side bend. One more time, inhale up. And this time we will release the hand back to the mat, to the chair. And on the other side, inhale all the way up, reaching for the ceiling. Exhale, side bend. Inhale up. Exhale, side bend. Inhale up. And exhale, side bend. Coming up again and releasing the left hand. And now we can bring our right hand all the way up and see how it feels if we just rest it on the head, or maybe we can reach behind the head and to the back of our neck. So I'm turning to show you. So I can reach back of the neck here. And if this is something that feels good today, we can even try to reach the hands together, the fingers together. We can also use a strap, our handy dandy strap. just to ease into the stretch. Grabbing the strap with both hands and making a stretch comfortable. Staying here for another full breath. And then nice and slow, release the strap. Return the hands slowly. And then the other hand, and then we will start with the other side. So left hand goes up. We can either rest it on top of the head or trying to reach back of the neck. The other hand can try to reach the fingers, or we can grab a strap and have it behind the back, just like we did on the right side. And easing into the stretch, breathing through, staying here for 3 full breaths. And then slowly release the strap, release the hands. And from here, we can go into the twists. So we will bring our torso, starting with our head, turning to the right, just the head, and then chest, and then torso. The whole torso follows. We can look over the shoulder. We can twist our right hand behind the back. Bring our left hand on the right knee to increase the stretch. And we will inhale, we can soften the stretch, and exhale, deepen the stretch. Making it dynamic or just staying within the stretch and breathing through it, your choice. So we can have it dynamically or statically. One more breath. And then the next inhale, we will slowly return to center and do the same thing on the other side. So now we're turning to the left. First the head, then the chest and torso follows. We can place our left hand behind and our right hand can go on top of the knee, of the left knee. Looking to the left, we can make it static and breathe through it, or we can make it dynamic following the breath, just like we did on the other side. Inhaling, softening the stretch, and exhaling, deepening the stretch. Following your own breath, listening to what your body needs today. And then slowly release. Now I would like you to straighten your legs. I will show both options in the chair and on the mat. So we will straighten our legs like so. If we're sitting on the mat, we can have our hands right next to our hips or behind, pointing the fingertips away from the body. And if we're sitting in the chair, once again, we're sitting closer to the edge of the chair, but still feeling nice and sturdy. We can hold on to the sides and straighten both legs like so. Not pointing our toes, but engaging the ankles. And from here, we can begin hinging at the hips first and moving closer to our toes. So inhale, coming back, straight spine, and then hinging at the hips with a straight back. Hinge and feel the stretch in the hamstrings. Coming back, inhale, and exhale, hinging at the hips. Coming back. So we can always use a strap. If we're sitting in a chair, I would recommend bending one knee. So let's do it as if we're in the chair. I will just bend one knee while sitting on the mat. The bent knee will add some stability to us. And we can hook the strap around the heel. And we will inhale. And on the exhale, we can lower ourselves first, hinging at the hips. And then we can soften our back and melt into the stretch. Remember that the stretch is comfortable, meaning we can breathe through it without overexerting ourselves. And then we can unstrap, remove the strap, return back, and then bend the other leg. Put the strap around our left leg now. Inhale here, and on the exhale, we can move into the stretch, feeling a nice hamstring stretch. So I'll just straighten both legs so you can see. And as always, there are many options. If you're sitting on the mat, feeling stable and want both legs stretched, you can do so as well. Just to make sure that you're doing everything right. I'm sure you are. Sitting in the chair, one leg is bent, and the other one is getting a stretch with a nice straight spine at first, and then we can move closer around the spine more. And this leg is adding stability to our seated posture. And we can safely remove the stretch, shake the legs, just to release any tension. And from here, if we're seated in a chair, I will demonstrate it in a moment. If we're on the mat, we will engage the foot once more, no, not pointing toes like in a ballet class, and we can choose where we want to create a figure 4 for another stretch for our legs. I'm assuming that most of us were seated for a long period of time today, especially now that it's getting colder. So it can be below the knee or above the knee. Don't put any pressure on the knee itself. Creating a nice space here, we can just move the palm, right palm over on the right thigh and press. And if this is not enough of a stretch, we can always bend the knee. And this is a seated variation of the figure 4 stretch. Now in the chair, it will look somewhat similar. Once again, in the chair, we're positioning ourselves nice and sturdy with a straight spine and bringing same foot just below the knee and either pressing, engaging the foot and pressing on the thigh itself, or we can lower ourselves, hinging at the hips with a nice neutral spine. And that way you should definitely be able to feel the stretch in the thigh here. Breathing through it, and let's move toward the other knee. Put the, so now the left ankle goes right below the right knee, and we can start pressing on the thigh with the foot engaged, not pointed toes, but foot engaged. We can press on the thigh. If this doesn't give you enough of a stretch, we can start lowering, hinging at the hips and lowering ourselves toward the knee, toward the foot, creating a figure 4 with a seated in a chair variation. And then slowly return and release. And of course, the variation can be below the knee as well. For this, we will get both stretched, both legs stretched, but in a different way. And now we can finally sit in a comfortable position, finding a place in the chair, or maybe we can transfer to a comfy couch or grab a blanket and prepare for a nice short meditation. So once again, we can place one hand on the chest, one hand on the belly, and feel the breath entering our lungs, lifting the diaphragm, expanding our belly. On the exhale, the belly deflates, the diaphragm goes back, and the lungs deflate. We can place our fingers in a chin mudra, which looks like a little round circle that we create with a thumb touching the index finger, and the rest of the fingers are straight but relaxed, palms facing up, letting the shoulders relax, the jaw and facial muscles relax. Inhale, I am here. Exhale, I am now. Letting any sounds, any thoughts, any to-do lists just be without immediate reaction to do anything about it. Just acknowledge its existence and let it be for just this 5 minutes. Focusing on your breath, focusing on the sound of your inhale and exhale, focusing on the tension that it creates, focusing on the energy that the oxygen brings to you, to your body, to your cells, blood vessels, accepting the nourishment that it brings to each organ in your body, to each muscle. And on the exhale, we can prolong a breath without forcing it, but just naturally. Maybe we can just prolong it for half a second, and then for 1 second, and then maybe 2 seconds longer. Noticing in our bodies if there are any more tight spots, either the ones that we worked on today or any others. We can bring our focus and our breath to this tight spot. Breathe in, bring the nourishment, and breathe out. Try and release the tension. On the exhale, we don't have to exhale through the nose. We can exhale through the mouth, letting the tension be released. Letting anything that doesn't serve us go. Any thoughts that might rise, any judgment, anything that seems to be urgent but not really an emergency, we can just acknowledge it and let it go. Acknowledge it as if it was a wave in the ocean. Some waves in the ocean are stronger and more persistent, but we keep the focus on our breath. We acknowledge this thought with kindness and then let it go. Right now, the thought is not serving us, not serving our rest. Keeping the attention on our breath. We can do a quick body scan, starting with our toes, noticing without judgment, without any action, just how our body is doing. Moving to our ankles, following the leg muscles. With each inhale, bringing us the warmth, and on the exhale, trying to relax the muscles. Moving toward our knees, lingering with our breath on any tightness. From our knees, following our muscles in our thighs, moving toward the hip, our glutes, all the tiny muscles in our pelvic floor, our inner organs, abdominal muscles, lower back muscles, middle back muscles, diaphragm, chest, upper back, shoulders, muscles in our arms, wrists, fingers, moving up from our shoulders to our necks, back of the head, top of the head, facial muscles, jaw muscles. Staying with our breath for another 3 inhales and exhales. On the next breath in, we can start wiggling fingers and toes, opening our eyes, returning from the short rest. We can place our palms together and thank ourselves for a great job that we did just now. I hope you feel rejuvenated. Namaste. As usual, if you have any feedback, you can leave a comment or DM me. And I will see you next Monday. Have a great